The AI market is extremely crazy, extremely bullish, and as an AI semiconductor investor, I am pretty excited because I do believe my AI investments are going to make me extremely wealthy. And I'm going to take a closer look at some recent AI news that you don't want to miss, as big tech players are investing billions and billions of dollars in this space. I honestly have gotten more bullish in the AI market in the past 2 weeks because of everything that I am seeing. Let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so first I want to showcase this pretty cool chart. So by 2028, the capital expenditure is expected to hit about $1 trillion. And this is kind of the amount of money big tech players is expected to spend on AI investments and things like data center. Now, obviously, this is a lot of money, and I do believe it's just a very great indication that the semiconductor market has a nice bullish sentiment behind it. Now, what I want to showcase with this chart is normally when we think of AI investments, you usually think of the big four, the Amazon, the Microsoft, the Google, and the Meta. But that is no longer the case. When you think of AI investments, you also have to think about the other companies out there making massive investments in the space. Your Teslas, your Stargate, your OpenAI, your xAI, and maybe eventually your Apple, right? Apple is a whole different story, but I do believe eventually they're going to pick up the steam and they're going to be spending billions and billions of dollars in this AI space. Now, the first topic I want to talk about is one of the craziest things I've read overall. So this is by xAI. And for those that are not familiar with xAI, this is the company, the AI company that Elon owns to kind of combat companies like OpenAI and ChatGPT. But we can see in the past 24, 48 hours, there are confirmation that Elon Musk confirms xAI is buying an overseas power plant and shipping the whole thing to the United States to power its new data center of 1 million AI GPUs and up to 2 gigawatts of power. So this alone is crazy. Moving a whole power plant is insane. Now, there are some caveats here. I'm going to talk about it here. But what it does showcase is two things, in my opinion. First, speed is a major perk during this AI race, right? If you can get to something faster than your competitors, it is a massive advantage. And I do believe this is why xAI is willing to do something like this. The second thing it does show us is that power constraint is a massive bottleneck in AI, where if it takes easier to kind of break down the power plant overseas, ship it here, and then kind of rebuild it, that alone seems like a logistics nightmare, right? But it showcases that building a new plant from scratch and all the legal issues and everything you need to sign to have like the proper permits, I guess, takes too long in America, and that's something that should be changed. Now, I did mention there's a little bit of caveats with this. Is first, I kind of asked AI, what is this even possible? And AI said that shipping a power plant is mostly about modular turbines. So it's mainly about maybe the internals within the plants. Modern gas plants come in shippable pieces already. So it's not like it's a whole from what AI is trying to explain to me, it's not like a whole buildings and stuff like that are being shipped. It's more obviously like the heartbeats, the brain, the internals of it that are being shipped here because it's still quicker to do it this way than something else. Now, I also want to say moving giant equipment like this is most likely a logistics nightmare, right? I'm pretty sure these turbines are massive. And I think the only reason xAI is probably able to do something like that is due to Elon's team and maybe the prior experience that Elon has, right? I mean, for example, SpaceX, probably ships massive amounts of materials all over the world and gets massive materials all over the world to kind of build some of the massive spaceships that SpaceX does. So I do believe one of the assets with xAI which can sometimes be seen as a double-edged sword, is Elon Musk, right? The ability to know kind of some of these logistic issues and how to solve some of these logistics nightmares is only possible due to the prior experience of some of the other companies he might run. Also, I just want to say, I know we've heard about this, but 1 million AI GPUs is starting to get even closer and closer. So first, again, something like this is only happening for two reasons. One, you want to be the first to do it. But the second thing, it does seem like these AI players are racing to something that they see extremely, extremely close. And maybe Meta Platforms has given us a hint of what that is. But first, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for the support. We just hit 70,000 subscribers over the weekend. I'm trying to do 75,000 by the end of the year. So if you haven't, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. If you want to learn more about the semiconductor market, check out whatthechiphappened.com. And finally, if we're going to see a lot of cool charts in this episode, it's all possible because of Fiscal.ai, the greatest platform that I use for my overall investment thesis and in data building. Check out Fiscal.ai/Jose. The link is down below for 15% off. Again, all that in the pinned comments. Now, I mentioned, right, it seems like all these AI companies are, or the reason for this race is these AI players are seeing something. And the next, it moves into Meta Platforms. So Meta Platforms has really made some massive investments in the AI space. And Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta Platforms, did give internal memo recently that was kind of shown all over the world. But Mark mentions as the pace of AI progress accelerates, developing super intelligence is coming into sight. I believe this will be the beginning of a new era for humanity, and I'm fully committed to doing what it takes for Meta to lead the way. So Meta believes that the best way for them to do it is to spend billions and billions of dollars in AI teams. They recently spent about $14 billion or so on Scale AI to hire the CEO and to hire various engineers. They are also spending hundreds of millions of dollars for new hires. Some of those new hires are coming from OpenAI, from Perplexity, from Google Gemini, and the list goes on and on. So this to me is telling me maybe why some of these AI companies are just massively investing right now. First, Mark mentions that he believes super intelligence, which is probably just another form of AGI, is coming into sight. And I think this is why every company is investing like crazy. I believe all these players like XAI, like Meta, like we're going to see OpenAI and all these other companies believe that this crazy leap in the AI market is extremely, extremely close, and you don't want to miss it. You don't want to be last there. You want to be the first player there, because if you're first there, you're going to be able to win a lot and a lot of business. And this is also the first time that I see Mark invest heavily in AI outside of the core business, right? For those that might believe that everybody sees Meta investing massively in capital expenditure, but historically, the capital expenditure has been on AI servers for its core business. And by the core business, I mean kind of like the recommender system, for the advertisement business, the ability, the AI solutions that help you stay in their applications longer and keep retention rates and eyes longer on their apps so they can serve you more and more ads. This is the first time I'm seeing this multi-billion, tens of billions of investment happening for non-core AI usage. And this is going to be for like their next generation of foundational models. I also haven't heard Mark speak about open AI, open source solutions to recently. And this was a big thing, open source. I am personally a believer that open source is great if you are the number 2 or the number 3 or the number 4 player. But open source is not that great if you're expecting to be the number 1 player really, really soon, because it kind of gives an advantage to maybe your competitors on how they can be even better and better. And if Mark is stopping to talk about this or stop talking about open source, I believe it's because he thinks this team right here is going to be the team that is going to make AGI super intelligence, and he doesn't want to share those secrets to the market. So Meta kind of making these multi-billion-dollar investments is another thing that has really got me pretty excited about the AI space. Now, the next one that we also saw is Oracle. So Oracle mentioned that one customer, and we can see from an SEC report that they took out Monday, that one customer by fiscal year of 2028 is expected to contribute more than $30 billion in annual revenue. That is insane. It seems insane, but let me show you how insane it really is. So this is one customer. All these companies have multi-hundreds of customers working on the AI industry. Google Cloud platform in fiscal year of 2024 made $43.2 billion of revenue. That's coming from all these different companies and all these different AI players. Now you're telling me that Oracle, one customer, is expected to do $30 billion in about 2 years per year. So this one customer is going to do nearly 75% of the total revenue Google Cloud did in fiscal year of 2024. I know I'm just repeating it. I'm just repeating that, but it's just so crazy to think that. It is so insane to think of that number coming from one customer. And then when you compare it to the number 3 cloud server provider in the world, and making that one customer being 70% of that company's total revenue this year, it just showcases how big this market is going. And if you're not getting it, I don't know. I really, this one is mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. I don't know what the right word is. It's somewhere in between there. But it's so, this one, again, it's the craziest thing ever. And to me, it tells me if Oracle is expected to see customers like this, why isn't Amazon, Microsoft, and Google? Why wouldn't they expect customers like this as well? So I do believe the cloud space is expected to see some massive growth, and that is actually very exciting for a lot of AI chip companies. I mean, if Google Cloud is expecting something like this, this could be massively bullish for a company like Broadcom that helps them design their TPUs. I mean, NVIDIA can definitely benefit from this growth as well. Now, I also want to say that these types of deals with like OpenAI and this Oracle of $30 billion do have lower margins compared to maybe your traditional cloud deals because they do use less add-ons. OpenAI doesn't need all these add-ons that these cloud players provide, and that's why they rather go to more like a bare metal approach, which tend to have lower margins, but still, I do believe there's going to be a lot of AI companies out there seeing massive growth, and it gets me pretty excited for the cloud space as well. Now, the next company, and I think this might be the last one I have, is Amazon. So Amazon recently mentioned that they launched a new AI foundational model to power its robotic fleet and deploy its 1 millionth robot. They mentioned that this new AI technology will make the world's largest fleet of industrial mobile robots smarter and more efficient, where this model will improve robot fleet travel efficiency by 10%. And technology advances support faster delivery times and lower costs for customers. Obviously, any efficiencies anywhere can improve your earnings, can improve your cash flow, could improve the solution you provide for your customer. Now, this gets me excited for 2 reasons. It showcases that robotics and AR are becoming a real growth opportunity. Obviously, we're seeing it here with Amazon in the industrial space, and I believe that's where it's going to lead at the first, the industrial space. And we're already seeing that with Amazon. Eventually, I do believe it's going to pick up in the consumer space and kind of having robots at home. But that's somewhere far in the future. I still expect the industrial space to be the first player here. But overall, this is very bullish for semiconductor markets as robots are just massive, crazy supercomputers. And you're going to need a lot of AI chips, a lot of chips to not only handle the training, to do simulations, to create data, to do the inference. You're also going to need a lot of electronics within the robots themselves. So everything that we saw here are coming from the top dogs. It's not just some random companies. It's not just some no revenue making. It's coming from Amazon, from Oracle, from Meta, from XAI. That this AI market is insane. So if you were to give me, I would love to hear your comments and thoughts in the comments below. Which one was the craziest news I talked about today? To me, it was either the XAI, moving a whole power plant is crazy, or Oracle. like I mentioned, one customer by fiscal year of 2028 is expected to be about 70% of the total revenue Google Cloud Platform provided in fiscal year of 2024. That one is still crazy. So it has to be a little bit between, it's either for me, Oracle or XAI. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, I really appreciate the support. I can't believe we hit 70,000 subs. 100,000 will eventually come, right? I do believe 100K is eventually coming. But 75 by the end of this year is what I'm pretty excited about. I'm hoping we can get there. Take care. Have a good day. And see you all next time.